So last night, a video game franchise that's as old as Kingdom Hearts and has a very dedicated cult following got some incredibly good news, and some news that I'm taking it most of the community just pretty much wasn't expecting. I think a lot of people thought that this franchise was well and truly buried, given that its remaster that released in 2017 was probably only purchased by fans but didn't really make massive sales. Yet here we are in 2026 with the game finally receiving something brand new, and that would have to be .hack. Some of you guys might know .hack. It's a pretty niche action RPG series from the early 2000s, mainly looking at PlayStation 2. This game saw a ton of releases between the years of 2002 to 2007. 7 games to be exact, which is absolutely insane. And it's a franchise that I've always been really curious about, mainly because a lot of people actually hold this as one of the better action RPG games from the PlayStation 2 era. Of course, the PlayStation 2 did have a lot of great action RPGs, Kingdom Hearts, Dark Cloud, Rogue Galaxy, the Yi series, Tales, From Software's numerous titles that they dropped on the system, Musashi Samurai Legend. But if you're dipping and diving into retro action RPG forums of people talking about really good PlayStation 2 game series, quite often you'll see .hack brought into the conversation. The series is developed by CyberConnect 2, mostly known for the Naruto Ninja Storm series or games like Dragon Ball Kakarot, Azura's Wrath. These folks haven't exactly worked on .hack in a long ass time. And so you can believe that when the announcement came last night, announcing that for the 30th anniversary of the studio, they'll be releasing a brand new .hack game, people were shitting themselves. Now look, I'm gonna be transparent. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I know a lot about .hack, because honestly speaking, I don't. I played very little of the game and only the GU games through the remaster that was released on PlayStation 4 back in 2017. I've never touched the originals that feature Kite. I never ended up finishing Rico, but now knowing that the series is finally moving forward, I think I'm gonna do exactly that. .hack has also been on my radar to talk about in a video for a newcomer to express how they perceive the game, what their experience is like. From hearing my friend Dean, Sore Island 1 Gaming, nerding out about it because this is one of his all-time favorite series, or experiencing a little bit of GU for myself, what I understand about .hack is it's basically Sword Art online. You're kind of playing a game within a game. It's a single-player action RPG set in an MMO world. Basically, it's an isekai of sorts, so this idea isn't really anything new, but the premise is kind of cool as a single-player action RPG. Again, I've played very little of GU, so as of right now, I absolutely do feel like a tourist, but I am wanting to change that. In this news, even though I don't consider myself to be a fan of .hack, to know that an old PlayStation 2 action RPG is getting revived after all of this time is incredibly exciting. I am excited for the people that thought their favorite video game franchise was truly dead. Because the insane thing is, it's been 16 years. Yes, 16 years since the last proper .hack game released, which would have been, I think, .hack Link that released on PlayStation Portable back in 2010. Prior to that, it was all just the PlayStation 2 games. I believe there was a spin-off that came out in 2012 known as .hack Versus, but that was a spin-off, a fighting game, not really considered to be a main entry into .hack. Now the thing about .hack is that it's a little bit daunting for someone like myself that wants to get into the series and understand its lore, its universe, its characters, and experience all that the franchise has to offer, but oh my god! There is a lot of stuff here. So not only does .hack exist as a video game, but it also exists as an anime. There are OVAs out there, there's also a manga, there's also a novel, and there are also mobile games as well. I was going through this chronological order list in order to understand .hack that has been neatly arranged by Fallion, and that's scary. Like, this is scary. Looking at this, there's just so much stuff here in order to understand What is going on? Now look, I'm sure someone in the comment section is probably gonna hit me with like, it's not actually that deep, it's not that crazy, just start with this and then move to this next and then do this. But from an outsider looking in, this looks like a nightmare. But this is a franchise that CyberConnect 2 really put their heart and soul into, just by the sheer amount of content that it has, and hence why it does actually have an avid fan base. Now I know there are some people a little bit disappointed that the announcement doesn't come along with the original 4 games, the first series that features Kite, being remastered. This is something that people have waited for an incredibly long time, and it's still yet to happen. From what I understand, the first .hack series that consists of 4 games, I think, and probably some anime stuff in there, novels, I don't know, and .hack GU here are like 2 separate .hack series. I believe though they do reference each other. I think, I don't know. Man, this must be what it's like for like someone that hasn't played Kingdom Hearts to try to decipher what the is going on. But it seems like this new .hack game, which is known as Zero, is CyberConnect basically wanting to soft reboot the .hack series. And I believe in a Famitsu interview, CyberConnect 2 mentioned that they've secretly been working on this project for 10 years. I would say a lot of that time is probably preliminary stuff, so it's more like they've been wanting to make this for the past 10 years. Otherwise, yeah, that's a concerning development period to be sure. But from what has been mentioned, while I'm sure that Zero is probably going to reference some of the older games and installments within the .hack franchise, this is very much going to be a brand new, fresh, new take on the series that will appeal to not only longtime fans, but also people that are wanting to jump in for the very first time. Now, over the years, I've seen bits and pieces of speculation where people are talking about why the .hack series hasn't come back since GU's remaster in 2017. It's either potentially the poor sales of the remaster, or more so, Bandai Namco just not really wanting to do anything with it. For those unaware, Bandai Namco own the .hack IP. CyberConnect 2 are very much the creators, but Bandai Namco have the rights to the game. So it's believed that Bandai Namco have been keeping this franchise locked up tight in the dungeon. Well, interestingly, this new game is not going to be published by Bandai Namco. Both Bandai Namco and CyberConnect 2 have actually come to an agreement where Bandai is allowing CyberConnect 2 to both develop and even self-publish this game, which I'm guessing this deal probably means that there won't be any investment from Bandai Namco. This is incredibly unusual, by the way. This basically just never happens. IP holders like to keep hold of their IP and get a slice of the pie, and who knows, maybe that's still part of the deal, but it makes me think there probably won't be any investment from Bandai Namco, and it will be self-funded entirely through CyberConnect 2. Incredibly unusual and bizarre, but I guess, bless Bandai Namco for allowing CyberConnect 2 to do this. This is clearly a big passion project for these guys. So personally, I'm actually really excited about this, and it feels weird because I almost feel like, you know, imposter syndrome, because it's like, I don't really know that much about this franchise, other than it's a beloved PlayStation 2 action RPG series. And I've played very little of it, but knowing this news now, I'm absolutely gonna throw myself into it, whether it's starting back up with GU or emulating the first 4 games. However, I'm sure some of you guys are probably hardcore .hack fans, and this is some of the most insane news of all time. If you are, let me know, because I feel like this is a situation where it would be equivalent to, say, Naughty Dog reviving Jack and Daxter for me personally. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Be sure to slippity slap that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Big shout out to my wonderful patrons and YouTube members. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and we'll talk again real soon.